dawn of each new day presents us with a fresh opportunity, a moment of choice. In the stillness of the morning, we are called to shape our minds and hearts, to fortify ourselves against the inevitable trials that await us. It is not the world that dictates our peace, nor our circumstances that determine our strength. It is in the morning, in the quiet solitude, where the foundation of a resilient mind is built. The Stoic routine is not merely a series of actions, it is a declaration of how we choose to live, how we command our thoughts, how we cultivate virtue, and how we embrace what is in our control. Every morning is a chance to master ourselves before the chaos of life begins, to prepare ourselves not for comfort, but for the challenges that will shape us. Let us step forward with purpose, knowing that what we do now, in these first moments of the day, sets the course for everything that follows. Start your day with purpose. The first action you take upon waking should be deliberate, with intention and thoughtfulness. A Stoic does not rise from slumber with a mind clouded by inertia or vague desires. The moment you open your eyes, you are gifted with a fresh opportunity, and it is only fitting that you begin with purpose. Purpose is not a lofty ambition or a distant goal, but the steady acknowledgement that today, like every day, you are alive, you are capable, and you are in control of how you respond to the world around you. Many will wake and let the inertia of the mind carry them forward, allowing their day to be shaped by external forces, by the whims of others or the demands of society. This is not the way of the Stoic. We begin each day with the clarity that we are not victims of time nor slaves to fate. Instead, we are the authors of our day, and in this we must take full responsibility. When you open your eyes before any distractions arise, take a moment to reflect on your core values. What is it that you truly stand for? What virtues do you wish to embody today? Start with a deep breath, grounding yourself in the present moment. Feel your connection to the world around you, the sensations of your body, the sounds of the morning, and the quiet stillness of the dawn. This is your moment of clarity, where you set your intentions. The Stoic mind does not meander aimlessly into the day, it aligns itself with its highest principles. Ask yourself, what is the purpose of today? Not in a grand sense, but in a practical, everyday sense. What is your mission for the hours ahead? Is it to act with integrity, to practice patience, to fulfill your duties with excellence, or to maintain inner peace regardless of the chaos you may face? Define this purpose clearly. Write it down if necessary, or simply hold it in your mind with unwavering clarity. This purpose will guide your actions and decisions throughout the day. It will be the steady rudder by which you navigate the tempests that will inevitably arise. The Stoic mind knows that it cannot control the events of the day, but it can control the response to those events. When we begin with purpose, we remind ourselves that life is not a series of random occurrences, but a collection of moments in which we have the power to decide how to react. Whether you face joy or sorrow, ease or difficulty, your response should remain steadfast in your purpose. When your intentions are clear from the outset, the obstacles of the day become less daunting, for you have already decided how to approach them. Purpose is not just about the outer tasks you will perform, but the inner strength you will cultivate. It is easy to get swept up in the noise of the world, to react impulsively to the demands of others, or to lose yourself in trivial distractions. But the Stoic knows that to live without purpose is to waste the gift of life. Every action, every word, every thought is an opportunity to live according to your highest ideals. Even in the smallest moments there is purpose. Whether you are eating, walking, working, or resting, all of these can be opportunities to live with intention. 2/33. To begin your day with purpose means to begin with awareness. It means to refuse to live passively, to refuse to be swept along by the currents of habit or emotion. When you wake up, you are not merely waking up to a new day, you are waking up to the possibility of becoming your highest self. Let each moment be an opportunity to embody your purpose. Remind yourself that today is a chance to take another step toward becoming the person you are meant to be. You may face resistance as you set your intentions. The mind will seek to wander, to procrastinate, or to resist discipline. But you must meet this resistance with resolve. The Stoic does not indulge in the comforts of idleness, for he knows that the true value of life lies in the pursuit of virtue, not in the avoidance of discomfort. Embrace the challenge of focusing your mind and spirit on your purpose. It is through the discipline of purpose that you build the strength to meet whatever comes your way. Starting your day with purpose also requires you to be mindful of your thoughts. Before you reach for your phone, before you allow the world's distractions to pull you in, take a moment to silence the noise. Do not let the external world dictate your inner state. Instead, cultivate the strength to choose how you will enter the day. Will you enter with a mind full of clarity, ready to embrace whatever comes your way? Or will you let the distractions of the world pull you into a state of aimlessness? The Stoic understands that the beginning of the day sets the tone for everything that follows. It is in the early moments, before the world demands your attention, that you have the opportunity to shape your inner world. The more you commit to beginning your day with purpose, the more naturally it will flow into every other aspect of your life. Soon your mind will be trained to seek purpose in every action, in every decision, and in every relationship. To start your day with purpose is to remember that you are not a passive observer of your life. You are an active participant, and today, like every day, is your opportunity to live according to the highest ideals you possess. Let your purpose be the anchor that keeps you steady in the storm, the light that guides you through the darkness, and the strength that propels you forward. Remember, each day is a gift, and it is in the morning, with intention and clarity, that we begin the sacred work of living a life of virtue. Cultivate gratitude for the present moment. Gratitude is not simply an emotion to be felt in moments of ease or when life is abundant. It is a mindset, a deliberate practice, and a core tenet of Stoic philosophy. To be truly Stoic, you must cultivate gratitude not for what you have, but for the very act of being. Gratitude is the art of being present, of finding joy and meaning in what is, rather than longing for what could be or lamenting what is missing. Every moment you are alive is a reason to be grateful, for life itself is a gift, one that is often taken for granted. When you awaken in the morning, take a moment to reflect on the fact that you are alive. Too often we rush into our daily tasks, consumed by what needs to be done, what we lack, or what we wish were different. The Stoic mind, however, recognizes that the simple fact of being awake is itself an extraordinary blessing. The fact that you are breathing, that you have the capacity to think, to move, to act, is a miracle in itself. Life is fleeting, and the moments you hold in your hands are precious. The Stoic embraces this truth not with fear, but with profound gratitude. In your morning routine, before you embark on the demands of the day, take a deep breath. Feel the air fill your lungs, the sensation of life coursing through your body. Reflect on the many things you often overlook, the small gifts that we so easily forget to acknowledge. The warmth of the sun, the comfort of your bed, the freedom to choose how you will spend your day, these are all reasons to be thankful. The Stoic does not wait for grand events to stir feelings of gratitude. He finds it in the simplicity of existence. There is much to be grateful for, even in the midst of hardship, even in the face of struggle. Gratitude in the Stoic sense is not a passive, fleeting emotion, but an active and intentional choice. It is the recognition that everything we experience, whether good or bad, is an opportunity for growth. This is a fundamental shift in perspective. The Stoic does not seek to avoid suffering, but to learn from it. Every obstacle, every challenge, every difficult person you encounter can be viewed as a gift, an opportunity to strengthen your character, to refine your mind, and to test your resolve. The Stoic does not see these as burdens, but as blessings in disguise, as moments to practice virtues such as patience, courage, and wisdom. Gratitude, then, is not about denying the harsh realities of life. It is not about putting on a mask of positivity in the face of suffering. Instead, it is the recognition that even in our struggles we are alive and capable of responding with dignity. It is in the moments of hardship that the Stoic's gratitude shines most brightly. When faced with adversity, remind yourself that this challenge is not the end, but a moment that offers you the opportunity to strengthen your character. When you can find gratitude in difficulty, you are truly embodying the Stoic ideal. This attitude of gratitude also extends to those around you. Too often we take for granted the relationships we have, the people who support us, and those who challenge us. But the Stoic knows that others are not mere obstacles or irritations to be tolerated. They are fellow travelers on the journey of life, and they too present us with opportunities to grow. Whether they offer us kindness or adversity, there is always something to learn from our interactions with others. Be grateful for the people in your life, not just for their support, but for the lessons they provide, both positive and decade. Take time in the morning to think of those you care about. Recognize their impact on your life, whether through their love, their challenges, or their influence. In a world often consumed by individualism, it is essential to remember that we are part of a larger whole. Our lives are interconnected, and the support we receive from others is a gift that should not be overlooked. A Stoic lives with the understanding that we are not isolated beings, but part of a vast network of relationships that help shape who we are. To cultivate gratitude is to shift your focus from what is lacking to what is present. We live in a world that constantly bombards us with messages of dissatisfaction, of wanting more, of never being enough. The Stoic, however, learns to find contentment in the present moment. The true measure of wealth is not in what we accumulate, but in how we appreciate what we already have. The Stoic does not waste time yearning for possessions, status, or recognition. Instead, he focuses on the simple joys of life: good health, the love of friends and family, the beauty of nature, the ability to think and reason. In your morning routine, make it a habit to acknowledge the things in your life for which you are grateful. Take a moment to reflect on your health, your work, your relationships, your surroundings. Even if you are facing difficulties, find one thing that you can be grateful for. It may be as simple as the warmth of a cup of coffee or the quiet of the early morning hours. Gratitude does not need to be reserved for moments of abundance. It is most powerful when practiced in the midst of the ordinary, the mundane, and even the difficult. To be truly Stoic in our gratitude is to approach it with humility. It is the acknowledgement that we are not entitled to anything, that all we have is a gift, and that life itself is fleeting. It is easy to take things for granted when everything is going well, but the Stoic understands that all things are temporary. The moment you begin to feel entitled to your circumstances, you have lost the essence of gratitude. The Stoic embraces the transient nature of life and remains thankful for all that is, knowing that it may not last. As you begin your day, let gratitude be the lens through which you view the world. Recognize the inherent value in every moment. Be thankful for the life you have, for the challenges that will help you grow, and for the people who walk beside you. Let gratitude infuse every action, every thought, and every decision. In this way, you will not only be prepared for the day ahead, but you will cultivate an inner peace that is unaffected by the external chaos. Remember, the greatest wealth lies not in what we accumulate, but in how deeply we appreciate what we already possess. Live each day with gratitude, and you will find that life becomes richer, more meaningful, and more fulfilling. Control your thoughts before they control you. The mind is a powerful tool, but it can also be a dangerous adversary if left unchecked. It is in the realm of thought that the Stoic finds the greatest battleground. We cannot always control the events that occur in our lives, nor can we dictate the actions of others, but we can control how we respond to them. And this begins with the thoughts we allow to dominate our minds. The Stoic knows that the power to govern our lives lies not in the external world, but in the control of our internal world. If we are not the masters of our thoughts, then we are slaves to them. When you wake up in the morning, be mindful of the thoughts that arise. Your first thoughts often set the tone for the entire day, and if you let them slip away unnoticed, they can dictate the course of your actions. It is easy to be carried away by the fleeting, chaotic nature of the mind, by worries, anxieties, desires, and regrets, but the Stoic is trained to recognize these thoughts for what they are: temporary, often irrational, and within our power to manage. The Stoic does not passively accept the first thoughts that come into his mind. He observes them, questions them, and chooses whether to accept them or to dismiss them. One of the most important aspects of Stoic practice is learning to differentiate between the thoughts we can control and the thoughts we cannot. You cannot always control the first thought that enters your mind, but you can control whether you entertain it. Thoughts will come unbidden, but we must not let them take root. If your mind begins to spiral into anxiety about the future or dwell on past mistakes, recognize these thoughts as distractions, not as truths. The Stoic does not indulge in thought patterns that lead to unnecessary suffering. Instead, he focuses his mind on what is within his control: the present moment, his actions, and his responses. To control your thoughts means to take ownership of them. It is to recognize that no thought is inherently true unless you choose to believe it. The mind will often present itself with worst-case scenarios, with fears and anxieties that seem to demand your attention. But the Stoic asks, is this true? Is this helpful? Does this thought serve me? If the answer is no, then it must be discarded. A mind consumed by irrational thoughts will quickly lead to a life filled with unnecessary stress, frustration, and anger. But a mind disciplined by Stoic principles is calm, clear, and focused. The morning is the perfect time to practice this discipline of thought. As you wake, take a few moments to reflect on your mindset. What are the first thoughts that come to you? Are they centered on gratitude, purpose, or hope? Or are they filled with fear, doubt, or frustration? Recognize that these first thoughts are just that initial reactions, not truths. You have the power to shift your focus, to choose a different thought, to direct your mind towards something more productive, more peaceful, more aligned with your principles. A common challenge for many is the tendency to dwell on past regrets or to worry excessively about the future. These two tendencies are the most destructive for a Stoic mind. Regret about the past is a waste of energy because the past is beyond our control. It cannot be changed. We can learn from it, but we must not allow ourselves to be consumed by it. The Stoic does not look back in sorrow, he looks back in wisdom, extracting lessons but leaving behind the burden of regret. The future is equally elusive. No amount of worry or anxiety can change what is yet to come. To be consumed by future fears is to give up control over the present, which is the only moment you can act upon. The Stoic focus is not on what might happen, but on what he can do now. He prepares for the future by living well today. Worry about the future is nothing more than a distraction, an illusion that keeps us from being fully present in the current moment. The power to control your thoughts is not a passive one. It requires practice and intention. It requires you to become the observer of your own mind, to step back and watch the thoughts arise without becoming entangled in them. By practicing mindfulness, you learn to see your thoughts without judgment, to recognize them as temporary and fleeting. This allows you to detach from them, to refuse to let them dictate your emotional state or your actions. The Stoic does not identify with his thoughts. He sees them as passing clouds in the sky, momentary and without lasting significance. One of the most effective ways to take control of your thoughts is through reflection. In the morning, before you engage with the world, take a moment to sit quietly and reflect on the nature of your mind. Ask yourself, what thoughts are occupying my mind? Are they aligned with my values and my purpose for the day? Are they helping me to grow, or are they holding me back? In this reflection, you may find that many of your thoughts are trivial, unimportant, or distracting. Recognizing this is the first step in regaining control. A powerful tool for controlling your thoughts is the practice of cognitive reframing. This involves taking negative or irrational thoughts and transforming them into more constructive ones. For example, if you wake up feeling overwhelmed by the challenges ahead, you might reframe this thought by saying, "These challenges are opportunities for growth. I am capable of handling whatever comes my way." By consciously reframing your thoughts, you shift your mindset from one of fear or helplessness to one of empowerment and strength. As you move through your day, continue to monitor your thoughts. When negative or irrational thoughts arise, meet them with the understanding that they are within your power to change. Refuse to be ruled by emotions or impulses. The Stoic does not allow himself to be controlled by fleeting desires or fears. Instead, he stands firm in the knowledge that his thoughts are his to command. He trains his mind not to avoid difficulty, but to face it with clarity, resilience, and wisdom. In every moment, remember that you are the master of your thoughts. If you find yourself spiraling into negative thinking, pause and take control. Refuse to let your mind run unchecked. With practice, you will find that your thoughts no longer control you, but that you have the power to shape them, to direct them, and to transform them into tools that serve your highest good. By mastering your thoughts, you master yourself, and in doing so, you become truly free. Focus on what you can control. The Stoic's greatest wisdom lies in the understanding that the only thing truly within our control is ourselves, our actions, our thoughts, and our reactions. All else is subject to the whims of fate, the choices of others, and the vast forces of the world. It is easy to be overwhelmed by the sheer magnitude of the world around us, to look at the chaos, the injustice, and the suffering, and to feel powerless. Yet the Stoic knows that such powerlessness is only an illusion. The true power lies not in controlling the external world, but in controlling how we respond to it. As you begin your day, remind yourself that you are not the master of the world, but the master of your own mind. You cannot control the actions of others, nor can you dictate the events that will unfold, but you can control how you will meet those actions and events. Will you meet them with patience, with wisdom, and with a spirit of calm? Or will you allow them to upset your peace of mind, to drag you into frustration or anger? The Stoic chooses the former, for he understands that while the external world may be chaotic, his inner world remains sovereign. The first step in focusing on what you can control is to distinguish between what is within your power and what is not. There is a great deal in life that is beyond our control: other people's actions, the weather, the economy, the decisions of leaders, and so on. These things will come, whether we are prepared for them or not, and to spend time worrying about them is a waste of energy. Worrying about things beyond your control only serves to rob you of your peace and distracts you from what truly matters. The Stoic does not waste time on such things. Instead, he places his focus squarely on what he can control: his own thoughts, his own actions, and his own response to the world. At the start of each day, take a moment to reflect on what lies ahead. Think of the challenges, the tasks, and the encounters you might face. Then ask yourself, what part of this is within my control? In most cases, the answer will be clear. You cannot control how others will behave, but you can control how you will behave in response. You cannot control the outcome of events, but you can control your effort and your attitude in the face of those events. You cannot control whether you will face hardship, but you can control whether you will meet that hardship with resilience or with despair. This practice of focusing on what you can control is not just a mental exercise, but a way of life. It is a commitment to acting with intention and integrity, regardless of the circumstances. It is a refusal to be a passive participant in life, waiting for the world to shape your fate. Instead, it is the recognition that your true power lies in your ability to choose how you will respond, how you will carry yourself, and how you will face whatever comes your way. The Stoic embraces the idea that he cannot control the outcome, but he can always control his effort. In every task, in every challenge, the Stoic gives his best, not for the sake of success, but for the sake of doing what is right. Success or failure is often beyond our control, but our effort is always within our power. This is the true measure of character, the ability to commit wholeheartedly to a task without attachment to the outcome, knowing that you have done your best. In the morning, set your intention to focus solely on what you can control. Prepare yourself mentally for the tasks ahead and remind yourself that external circumstances do not dictate your peace. If you find yourself tempted to worry about things beyond your control, gently guide your thoughts back to what you can influence. If a colleague behaves poorly or a situation arises that is beyond your influence, remind yourself that your response is the only thing you can control. Will you meet it with grace, with patience, or with anger? Choose the former, for it will preserve your peace of mind. One of the greatest distractions in modern life is the constant bombardment of news, opinions, and events from around the world. It is easy to become swept up in the tide of external affairs, to feel helpless in the face of global crises, political upheaval, or societal challenges. But the Stoic reminds himself that while he may be deeply concerned about these matters, his primary responsibility is to control what is in his power. He must be mindful not to become overwhelmed by things beyond his control. Instead, the Stoic directs his energy toward improving himself, toward cultivating virtue, toward living according to his highest ideals. The world may be full of suffering, but the Stoic does not abandon his commitment to goodness. He continues to act with integrity, to treat others with kindness, and to pursue excellence in all things, knowing that this is the only thing he can truly influence. The Stoic understands that the most effective way to change the world is not by trying to control the external world, but by first mastering himself. Focus on what you can control also means accepting the things you cannot change. The Stoic does not waste energy in resistance, but instead accepts the world as it is. This does not mean complacency or resignation, but rather the wisdom to know when to act and when to let go. If you cannot change a situation, do not fight it. Instead, change your response to it. In doing so, you retain your inner peace and your ability to respond with reason, rather than being swept away by emotion or frustration. Another crucial aspect of focusing on what you can control is how you manage your expectations. Much of our suffering comes from unrealistic expectations of ourselves and others. We expect the world to behave in a certain way, and when it does not, we feel anger, disappointment, or frustration. But the Stoic understands that expectations are the root of much suffering. Instead of expecting things to go as planned, he prepares for the possibility of setbacks and challenges. By adjusting your expectations, you protect yourself from the sting of disappointment and free yourself to act with equanimity in the face of adversity. As you move through your day, continue to remind yourself that your power lies in how you choose to respond. If something does not go as expected, instead of reacting with frustration or despair, pause and consider how you can respond. Consider. This is where true growth happens, not in the avoidance of difficulty, but in the conscious decision to act virtuously in the face of it. In every situation, remember that you cannot control everything, but you can control how you face it. You can control your attitude, your effort, and your response. Let this understanding guide you throughout the day. When you focus on what you can control, you will find a deep sense of peace and purpose, for you will have learned to live in harmony with the world as it is, rather than in conflict with it. The Stoic does not waste energy on things outside of his control. Instead, he channels his strength into what he can influence: his thoughts, his actions, and his character. In this way, he remains unshaken, no matter what the world throws his way. Embrace discomfort as a path to strength. The path to strength, both mental and physical, is not one that leads through comfort and ease. It is forged through adversity, through challenges, and through discomfort. The Stoic understands that suffering is an inevitable part of life, and instead of avoiding it, he embraces it as a vital aspect of growth. Discomfort, whether physical, emotional, or mental, is not something to be feared or avoided. It is something to be accepted, understood, and ultimately used as a tool for strengthening the character. When you wake in the morning, it is easy to fall into the habit of seeking comfort. You might crave the warmth of your bed, the ease of a leisurely morning, the avoidance of anything that causes discomfort. But the Stoic knows that this desire for comfort is the enemy of progress. True strength is not built through ease, but through overcoming obstacles. The Stoic does not seek pleasure or luxury, but challenges that test his resilience. The discomfort of the morning is a reminder that you are alive, that you are capable of enduring, and that you are growing stronger with every challenge you face. One of the most important Stoic practices is to intentionally expose yourself to discomfort. This is not for the sake of suffering, but for the purpose of strengthening your will and character. The Stoic knows that hardship is inevitable in life, and the more he can practice facing discomfort in controlled, deliberate ways, the better prepared he will be when real challenges arise. By voluntarily embracing discomfort, you train your mind and body to endure, to adapt, and to overcome. This can begin with simple acts. In the morning, perhaps you choose to wake up earlier than usual, not because you have to, but because you want to strengthen your discipline. You might take a cold shower, not to punish yourself, but to practice resilience and control over your desires. You might choose to forgo a pleasurable indulgence, such as a favorite food or drink, in order to remind yourself that you are not a slave to your desires. These small acts of discomfort serve as a reminder that you are in control, that you have the power to choose hardship over ease, and that every moment of discomfort is an opportunity to become stronger. The Stoic sees discomfort as a teacher. It is through discomfort that we learn to be patient, to persevere, and to cultivate resilience. Without hardship, we would not know what it means to be truly strong. We would not know the depths of our own potential. The discomfort we experience in life is not something to be avoided at all costs, but something to be faced with courage, for it is in facing discomfort that we discover what we are truly capable of. The greatest warriors do not become strong by avoiding battle. They become strong through repeated trials, through each fight that tests their limits, and through each victory that strengthens their resolve. The Stoic, in the same way, seeks out trials in order to build mental and emotional strength. The discomfort of a difficult situation is an opportunity to test your endurance, to remain calm under pressure, and to choose your response with wisdom. The Stoic does not run from discomfort, he meets it head-on, knowing that it is through facing adversity that he will grow. This mindset extends beyond physical discomfort. Emotional discomfort, such as confronting difficult emotions or dealing with challenging relationships, is equally important. The Stoic does not shy away from these emotional trials. He faces them with equanimity, understanding that each emotional hardship is an opportunity to grow in wisdom, patience, and self-control. Emotional discomfort, like physical discomfort, is a signal that you are being stretched, that you are growing beyond your current limits. In every situation, the Stoic reminds himself that discomfort is temporary, but the strength he gains from it is lasting. Whether it is the discomfort of a difficult workout, the discomfort of facing a challenging conversation, or the discomfort of enduring a hardship, the Stoic views each challenge as a step forward on his journey of self-mastery. The Stoic does not seek to escape discomfort, he seeks to master it. As you move through your day, make it a point to embrace discomfort rather than avoid it. When faced with a difficult task or a situation that causes unease, remind yourself that this is not something to fear, but something to embrace. The discomfort you feel is a sign that you are pushing yourself beyond your limits, that you are growing stronger both in mind and in spirit. Every moment of discomfort is an opportunity to practice resilience, to practice courage, and to practice Stoic virtues. The Stoic does not live for the fleeting pleasures of comfort, but for the lasting rewards of strength, virtue, and wisdom. He understands that comfort is a shallow, transient state, while true strength is built through struggle and adversity. Embrace discomfort as a way to hone your mind, body, and spirit. With every challenge you face, you become stronger, more capable, and more resilient. The Stoic lives by the principle that it is through hardship that we discover our true potential. The more we embrace discomfort, the more we grow, and the closer we come to the ideal of a life lived with purpose, virtue, and strength. Practice gratitude for what you have, not for what you lack. In a world that constantly pushes us to seek more possessions, more achievements, more recognition, the Stoic embraces a different approach. He understands that true contentment does not come from the accumulation of wealth, fame, or status, but from the deep appreciation of what one already possesses. The Stoic knows that gratitude is not merely a polite response to what life gives him, but a deliberate practice that leads to peace of mind and inner strength. Every morning as you rise, the first thing you should do is recognize the gifts you already possess. You may have many desires and you may face challenges, but the Stoic always begins by acknowledging the blessings he already has. These are not just material possessions, but the intangible gifts, the ability to think, to reason, to experience the beauty of nature, to enjoy the love of others, and to have the power to shape your own mind and actions. When you wake up, before you rush to check your phone or think about the tasks ahead, take a moment to reflect on these blessings. Recognize them as the foundations of your life, not as things to be taken for granted, but as treasures that make life meaningful. The modern world teaches us to constantly look outward, to compare ourselves to others, and to feel dissatisfied with what we have. We are bombarded by images of wealth, success, and luxury, and we often feel that we are not enough, that we are lacking something essential. But the Stoic counters this by focusing on the richness of the present moment, on the abundance that already exists in his life. He understands that to want more is not inherently wrong, but to constantly seek more without appreciating what you already have leads to discontentment, dissatisfaction, and unhappiness. Gratitude is the antidote to this restless desire for more. When you practice gratitude, you shift your focus from what you lack to what you have, and in doing so, you find contentment. The Stoic does not wait for external circumstances to change before he can be grateful. He finds gratitude in the present moment, in the simple and often overlooked aspects of life that others may dismiss. As you begin your day, pause for a moment and take inventory of your life. Are you grateful for your health, for the body that carries you through each day? Are you grateful for the relationships that bring you joy and connection? Are you grateful for the mind that allows you to think, reason, and make choices? The Stoic does not wait for a particular event to occur before he can feel gratitude. He recognizes that gratitude is not a response to good fortune, but a recognition of the inherent goodness of life itself, even in its struggles and challenges. One of the most profound practices of Stoic gratitude is to cultivate an appreciation for the simple things. We often overlook the most basic elements of our lives, such as the air we breathe, the food we eat, the shelter we have, and the opportunities we are given. The Stoic focuses on these small, yet fundamental aspects of existence, seeing them as gifts that are easily taken for granted. Gratitude for these simple things grounds the Stoic in the present and reminds him that life, even in its simplest form, is rich and full. When you encounter difficulties throughout your day, the Stoic does not curse the challenge or wish for it to go away. Instead, he is grateful for the opportunity it provides for growth. Each difficulty is a lesson, a chance to practice virtue, resilience, and patience. The Stoic recognizes that hardship is not a curse, but a chance to develop strength of character. This perspective transforms every challenge into a gift, and the Stoic is able to approach adversity with calm, knowing that it is through these trials that he becomes stronger. The practice of gratitude also extends to the people in our lives. It is easy to take others for granted, to focus on their flaws or shortcomings, but the Stoic understands that each person is a reflection of the greater interconnectedness of life. The people around us, whether they are loved ones, friends, or even strangers, are gifts that contribute to our experience. Instead of focusing on what others may lack or how they have disappointed us, the Stoic practices gratitude for their presence in his life, for the lessons they provide, and for the ways in which they contribute to his own growth. Gratitude is a powerful tool for cultivating peace of mind. When you practice gratitude, you stop measuring your life against others and against external standards. Instead, you focus on what is truly important: the virtues you cultivate within yourself, the relationships you nurture, and the strength you develop through adversity. The Stoic understands that it is not external circumstances that define a good life, but how he responds to those circumstances. Gratitude is the lens through which he sees the world, and it shapes his experience in profound ways. Another powerful practice of gratitude is to reflect on the impermanence of life. Life is fleeting, and everything we hold dear, our health, our possessions, our loved ones, can be taken from us at any moment. The Stoic uses this understanding not to despair, but to cultivate an even greater sense of appreciation for the present. He does not wait until something is gone to be grateful for it. Instead, he embraces each moment with full awareness that it may not last forever, and in this awareness, he finds a deeper appreciation for life as it is. As you move through your day, let gratitude guide your thoughts and actions. When you encounter challenges, remember that these too are opportunities to practice gratitude for the strength to endure them, for the lessons they bring, and for the growth they foster. When you interact with others, practice gratitude for their presence and for the ways in which they enrich your life. And above all, be grateful for the opportunity to live another day, to practice virtue, and to continue on the path of wisdom and self-mastery. The Stoic knows that gratitude is not a fleeting emotion, but a deep, enduring practice. It is a commitment to seeing the beauty and goodness in life, no matter the circumstances. By focusing on what you have rather than what you lack, you find peace, contentment, and joy in the present moment. Gratitude, therefore, becomes not just a response to life, but the foundation upon which the Stoic builds his understanding of the world and his place within it. It is through gratitude that the Stoic learns to live fully, appreciating the richness of life in all its forms.